What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Shoemoney.tv show. It's been kind of a scheduling mess here lately because I went to Florida and then there was that whole Memorial Day thing and then there was some other stuff that went down. So it's been interesting. And even today was a kind of a wreck to get this going. So my guest today is Jennifer Xen, who is the authoritative resource on Facebook advertising. She, you probably have seen her products on advertised on Facebook, obviously, and also I've seen them on AppSumo and other stuff like that. She's also been a speaker at my Elite Retreat event, and one of the highest rated speakers that we had that year. So pretty awesome. Lately in the news, I actually wrote a post today about Diablo 3's auction house, which was kind of interesting. Matt, do you have a mic?
No.
Matt is a fellow Diablo 3 player, and they were supposed to open their real money auction house today. I just logged in, and I didn't see the auction house was down. Imagine that. So that's going to be interesting because for the first time ever, a video game is going to trade. You'll be able to buy currency. So it's basically like Forex trading with a virtual world, with a gaming world. It's kind of nuts, right? Because you've got all these people. There's actually these true stories of in China they're having these prisoners play Diablo, like actual prisoners playing 24/7, collecting gold and whatnot to sell for real money. So I believe that today the market will be completely flooded. I actually wrote about this on Shoemoney.com, and it could be a good investment to buy Diablo gold, just like our real gold, and see if that will go up in the next couple of months, because you might hold it onto it, and just because the market, I think, is going to be completely saturated today. So this is the first one, and I'm all by myself. I don't have a co-host here, so I'm just kind of winging it as I go. But that's how I pretty much did all the radio shows before. Now, some other stuff. You know, there's been some interesting stuff. I have a guest writer on my blog in the SEO space, and she's caused quite a shitstorm. So it's been interesting. She writes under the pen name of SEO Bitch, and it's been really, really interesting. Everywhere I go, people ask me who it is, and I actually even have people email me saying, hey, can you make a post saying it's not me? So evidently that's making some waves. She posts some really good stuff, and I mean that's the thing I've had the most things about. You know, I'm wondering who it is, but I mean the posts that she makes are really good and really spot on. So that's really good. And that's, if you haven't read those, they're good. Also, if you haven't noticed, we've been having more and more guest posts on Shoemoney.com, and that's as I'm transitioning more into doing a lot of other stuff. I brought back really a lot of value to readers to the blog. So we're implementing a lot more of that, and the traffic has really gone up a lot. And I think that the blog is a lot more value now to users than it was, because I was kind of hit and miss and traveling all the time. So just it's great to get some good quality writers. Now we have Rebecca Kelly Rothbard, who's on the Senate Judiciary Committee for FTC compliance. You know, we have the SEO bitch, and then we have me. So, and I think that's about it. Did I say Rebecca Kelly?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, let's, do we have our guest ready?
Yeah, we'll call her.
I know we're a little early, but I think I'm kind of frying out here, so. By the way, did you watch WWDC yesterday? Did you watch it? So, I was pissed because I have my iMac is like 2.5 years old, and it's got an old graphics card, and it kind of blows. And it doesn't blow. I mean, I can still play Diablo with pretty good everything.
You need a PC.
I need a PC to set on fire. or to run Linux on, run our firewall on.
There we go.
But yeah, so WWDC comes out tomorrow. Sweet MacBooks come out. No iMac. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? They said probably second quarter 2013 will be the new iMacs. Isn't that Macworld around there? So probably Macworld display those. I can wait another 6 months. Crap, I've waited a year and a half to get this far. Can't believe they didn't upgrade those. I was really bummed out yesterday, so that sucked. Do we have Jennifer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's bring her in before we totally crash and burn here. Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. Glad to save you from yourself here.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the first show that I've done where I've actually not had a co-host. So
Yeah,
But,
it's got to be hard.
it's interesting. When I did the radio show, I used to do it all the time by myself, but it kind of went about the same as the first 10 minutes of this. So wasn't that great until we brought guests on. So where are you in Australia?
No, I'm in Chicago.
You are.
Yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. What are you there for?
I'm working here in the summer for a couple of months. So I just spoke at Internet Profits event, a live event here in Chicago last weekend, just 2 days ago, I guess. My days are all confused. So that was really good. Got to meet some fantastic people there, and that was really fun. And so now I'll be here until the end of July, which is great.
Who puts on the Internet Profits?
Steve Olsher, it was his inaugural event, and he had 27 speakers, some really great people, just like a whole big variety of online strategies for online and offline business owners. So it was great.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Somehow I didn't get an invite to that, so I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. So you were a speaker there?
Yes.
Awesome.
Talked about Facebook ads. Funny about that, hey?
Yeah, I mean, like
So strange.
you become like this authoritative person in the world of Facebook advertising. All of a sudden, like not all of a sudden, like not deservingly, but I mean, like it was. I heard about you through Mitch Harad, who you did our Elite Retreat Mastermind thing, and then that was the first time I heard of you. Now it's like all the time. You're just
Yeah,
like,
that was a couple of years ago now, and I guess it's because that's all I do. I do Facebook ads, and we do it every day, all day long, and we've got a lot of well-known clients now, and we work our asses off inside Facebook for them, and I can share what we learn from running thousands of dollars for them in all different kinds of markets with my readers and my members. So it's good.
awesome. I might have to have you look at a couple things that we're doing because we're not having much luck.
Yeah.
And it's out of our realm actually of our we've done very well in the dating space, but now we're getting into some of the other things and it's not going very well. So might have to have you take a look at that. But what would you say is your kind of your sweet spot, your expertise?
Well, things change inside Facebook all the time. So, what was working 6 weeks ago is now maybe not working as well. And now we have to, constantly be shifting and focusing on something different. So that's the challenging aspect of it. But for right now, I mean, we have one client who is just doing so well with their fan page. And so page post ads are killing it, absolutely killing it. And Facebook have just changed the bidding strategy. I don't know if you're aware, but you used to be able to choose CPM or CPC bidding for basically any of your traffic. And now you can't do that anymore.
Really?
Yeah, sucks.
Well, if you ever want a guest blog, I know a place who does accept. We're actually having some on-staff authors. So if you ever wanted to do that, but we can talk about that offline. But
Cool.
yeah. So okay.
Big changes.
Yes.
Big changes.
The thing that pisses me off about Facebook and is so let's go back 5 years ago.
Yeah.
They sponsored, they paid money to run ads on Shoemoney.com. They bought like the background back when we did that. They spent quite a bit of money with us over like a 90-day period. We did Elite Retreat. They paid for everybody to go there. They, between myself and like 3 other people, I know we represented probably about $2.5-3 million a month in advertising spend for them. So you'd think that would move the needle for them and they would be cool ongoing. Fast forward 2 years, I can't get anyone to respond to me there. And I'm still listed like on their board for monetary advisor from the affiliate thing. So
Yeah.
I was like, wow. I mean, we worked with their team, and we were kind of their liaison to the affiliate community, and because they were so far over their head. And there's one guy there, Alex Schultz. I do have to give a shout out to him. He's always been phenomenal. I go way back with him from when he was at eBay, and I think he's kind of in charge of Facebook UK now. But he's a tremendous person, and he's one guy there who's always been awesome. The rest of them,
Yeah. I have to agree. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We've had, just since January, I've gone through 10 different Facebook reps. So, I mean, we speak to them every single day. We ask questions, and, somebody gets their account, loses their account, and we try to fight for that and, get that back for them, and all kinds of stuff. And since January, it's been chaos, and they just disappear, and then somebody new comes on board, and they're very disorganized. So it's very stressful.
And for us focusing on dating, we that's really been our sweet spot for many, going on 4 years now. And
Yep.
we have 2 full-time guys who run our dating stuff for us, and they work 24 hours, 12-hour shifts on and on throughout, all the countries and stuff, watching everything. And within the last 3 months, we can't get anything approved in the dating vertical. I don't know. And I've emailed them. I'm like, have you guys just outlawed dating? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, can you give me an example of somebody who's actually getting something through? Because, and the thing is like, I've got one guy there, and I don't want to say his name, but I think he's new, and he'll push my stuff live. And then the next day it'll all be disapproved. And I get so pissed about that. And we're following all the rules. I mean, we're not, I don't know if you know the dating space, but you can't, it's very, very limited, your targeting functionality. You have to target males who say they're interested in females who also are
Single.
Exactly. You can't, because I can tell you what, if you can sneak one in that goes to all males, you can absolutely kill it in dating.
Yeah.
So, to those out there, if you can throw one in that goes to all males, I mean, holy crap. You can totally blow it out, because really the inventory isn't that great for the targeting that you have to do. But
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you can get something approved and get away with it for a little while, but it won't last forever. It's the same thing with exit pop-ups. If you have exit pop-ups on your landing page, you might get it approved, and if you have something running with an exit pop now, you're pretty lucky. But we've had whole accounts gone because of one ad with an exit pop-up. So, things like that where you could run it for a while, but you're just kind of biding your time until it's all gone, which sucks completely, and then you have to start all over again.
That's interesting that you brought that up about accounts getting gone, because when we got back fired up, because we it's been hit and miss with these companies that come to us and give us budgets to blow it out on Facebook from time to time. And so sometimes we work on a CPA, and sometimes we just work on, like, hey, here's what works for us, and give us a budget, and we'll take a percentage of that, which I'm sure you've done many models as well. But so here's the thing is, so we literally have this account, and back in the day they said, don't use your personal account, just make an account, but don't fill out any info, and have that be your ads account. So that's always what I've done, and I've got like 7 of them, and they were well aware with what we had, and we had them all segmented and stuff. So one of them, which was our primary one, and I'm not kidding, we've ran probably $4 to $5 million through that one account, and I hadn't used that particular account for a year and a half, 2 years. And so when we were getting ready to do this, because that account had like it had like a $300 and some $1,000 limit, so it was very, very high. And when we got this new client who wanted to spend like $20,000, $30,000 a day, I wanted to set it up under that account in case, it started to go crazy. So I log in there to set it up, and the account is nuked. And I was like, what happened? What happened? And so we finally figured it out. And it was ads that were approved years ago.
Yeah.
They went through and disapproved them and shut off the account. Really? Like, can't even email me? Let me know.
Right. There's no email, there's no warning, there's no explanation. And like you said before, like with this exit pop-up thing, like I wrote to our Facebook rep and said, what's the deal? And they said, oh no, it should be fine. This landing page should be fine. And, it's not. So yeah, they're just, it's confusing. It's misleading information, and the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, and it's pretty hard. It's difficult. It's kind of like the Wild West, you could get an arrow in the head, or you could find gold.
Right, and I think that's
or
the
both.
difference. It's a lot, yeah, exactly. It's a lot like how SEO, when it started, or just about any other advertising platform, if you're a person like you who has inside contacts and can actually get an answer, that's all the difference in the world. If you're just a regular person trying to do it, good luck.
Yeah.
And we used to have that relationship with Facebook, but I don't know. I don't even know how they view me, because I've actually made some posts that are not. I actually made a post about Mark Zuckerberg's appendage, which I will.
Oh no.
I was going to the bathroom next to him, and at this thing, and I said, if you were standing next to him at a bathroom and he was kind of swaying back, would you look? Right. So I just took a little poll, and I thought it was funny, but that pissed off a lot. That actually got my blog yanked out of Yahoo News, but Shoemoney.com didn't belong in Yahoo News anyway. Let's be honest. So I had a friend over there, an executive, who got that in for me years ago, and I never would have passed the screening process to get in there. Anyway, wow, digression. But I have some other funny stories about Zuckerberg's sister and some other things, but we'll save those for another date. Anyway,
sounds good.
Yeah. So it's some funny stuff, but we'll just talk about it another time, because I don't want to digress too much. So stay tuned, because maybe the next episode we'll talk about how I pitched Mark Zuckerberg's sister this total ridiculous idea I had, which I just completely made up, and with Neil Patel and some other folks, and I didn't even know it was her, but everyone around me was like giving me the axe sign, like no, and anyway, okay, so Facebook advertising. Now,
Yes.
You've done stuff with like Frank Kern and some other people.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest infomarketers in the world who have had squeeze pages. And I've never had very much luck sending traffic from Facebook to a squeeze page.
Okay.
What's the trick there?
Well, there's a couple things you need to know. Like, it's completely different from AdWords, so you don't want to send people to the same kind of AdWords landing page. So you want to have your squeeze page as simple as possible, like really dead simple. The best one that we've seen so far is a video, and it's just the video. So there's nothing else on the page except the video and a giant play button. And the play button is, you press play and you play it, and the whole purpose of the video is just to say, get them to opt in, and when you ask them to opt in, the opt-in box appears, and that's it. So, and then people opt in. Or another version of that is the webinar registration. So you say, we're having this kick-ass webinar, register for the webinar, and then this big old register now button appears, and then they click on that, and then they register, and when you go to the next page, instead of showing them the information right away, the page sort of loads for a while, but the only thing that's showing is join the webinar now button. And so the page loads. So if you waited a long time, the page would load, and then you get more information on when to enter the webinar. But you could just join the webinar now, which is what about 80% of people do. They click that button and they watch the live webinar right then and there.
And can I ask, like, what's your general pricing structure? I don't think I've ever even talked to you about that offline, but I mean, and if you don't want to say,
for us to run ads for people?
Yeah, so if I wanted to hire you to do this one thing that we're doing.
Yeah, so it depends on the volume of what we're talking about. Like
let's say I have a squeeze page and I need 1,000 submits a day, and I make $3.
It's you? I think it'd be at least 20 grand to get started.
$20,000 to start, and then.
Sorry, I was joking. That was a joke.
Well, that's 90. I mean, if you do the math, I mean, it's 90 grand a month, is what you're
looking for.
Well, that would be the gross margin if that existed. I'm not saying that exists, but if it did exist, so that would be gross. And then, do you work off of a CPA, or do you work off a percentage of ad spend?
No, at this point it depends. We have 3 different levels. So we have like an entry level done for you service starts at $3,000, and so we work our asses off inside your account. It's a flat rate for $3,000. And then we move up. If you have a lot more stuff, like there are a lot of people we work with who have 5 or 6 different things that they want to run at any given time. So they have different things they want to sell, different lead gen things going on. So that's a bit more. And then we also have an enterprise level, which are for our much larger clients, and that starts at 8,000.
Got it. That's awesome. And where do people go to set up with you guys?
fbadslab.com.
Awesome. fbadslab.com.
Yeah,
Not
that's
labs, lab, singular.
I'm sure it'll all get there, but it's fbadslab.com.
All right, here comes the assault of users right now that are just going to completely destroy the site, all 6 of them.
All at once.
So, yeah, I don't know what happened to our live viewers. We blew it out like the first week, I think, and then the replay will get watched a lot, but the live one is where are you guys at? So I think we need to start taking live calls again and stuff like that.
That's always interesting.
Yeah, that's good. But we're not really getting a total of live views, but that's okay.
You need way more iPads.
Yeah, we do. And I still have, like, look at brand new iPad 3. Brand new in the box. See how shiny it is? Brand new. Still in the box. And yes, this is the same one I had last week because we didn't hit, all I said was we have to hit 100 users watching the live stream. That's it. And we'll give this away to one of them. That's it.
Sweet.
And it didn't work. So I was just going to take it home and use it. So anyway.
You could always send it to me. That'd be nice, too.
Yeah, we could advertise it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we could have a contest for best guest.
There you go.
Guest. Okay, so if you had one tip, and I'm sure you get this a lot, but let's say you're at a conference and you got this affiliate come up to you, and he's like, I've got this really cool offer. Facebook isn't helping me at all. What can I do? Good luck.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, for the most, I get that all the time, and I'm like, just because we have a team of guys and we've crushed it in dating, I'll be honest. I mean, I don't get a lot of other stuff to work. In fact, I've lost a lot of money trying to make other things work.
It's really difficult to just say, if you're an affiliate, do this. I mean, if you're a small business, a local business, if you're an internet marketer, a speaker, an author, a coach, any of those things, there's 95% of things will work. Affiliate stuff is really challenging, and you need to think outside the square. Or outside the box, or whatever the phrase is. So for affiliates, I often say that the best approach is to take a general approach. So if you're in a dating market, then you need to be looking at fan pages for related topics, and then you can advertise to the fans of those fan pages.
That's good. I like it. And I think that might be an option for one of the things we're working on now, which I might talk to you about excuse me, offline. Yeah. I do want to talk about AppSumo. I want to talk about Facebook a little bit more before we get to that. But if my ADD runs awry, remind me to ask you about AppSumo. Okay. So, by the way, thanks for coming on. I know it was a mess with the scheduling and whatnot, but I really appreciate it.
It's always fun talking to you. I never know what you're going to say next.
Oh, well, I don't know if that's good or bad, but
it's good.
Yeah, you should see the people that actually fly in or are here, because we had Danny Sullivan, I saw that. Michael Sprouse, former, and he doesn't give himself enough credit. And Sprouse is former CMO Playboy, and he's played at Wimbledon tennis, and he was Anna Kournikovas' trainer, and he works out and hangs out with the McEnroe brothers and stuff, but he doesn't like people to know all that stuff, but so I make sure to point it out and stuff. But anyway, so we've had some cool guests, and of course you, the Shoemoney proclaimed queen of Facebook advertising. I've just given you an actual royal title to Facebook advertising.
That's great.
If you want to pen that to your resume, you can.
Cool.
That'll be cool. All right, so let's talk about digression a little bit. The Facebook just went IPO, speaking of ads, and this is directly related to both. Now, years ago, I do have some inside information about, in general, where they were headed. And I'm not going to say whether or not this could happen or couldn't, because I don't know the rules with, now they're public and all that stuff, and the agreements I signed, that were 800 pages. I don't even know what they were in it. So I might have said that I could never say anything about any idea that they ever even said. But let's just say, And let's also pretend that they've had a code freeze on their ad platform for a while till the IPO. But let's say that they have been planning a external advertising network that would compete with AdSense,
Yes.
but would use your Facebook logged in data. Now, that's not rocket science, right?
Right.
It seems to make sense that they would do something like that. How big do you think that would be for them?
Massive. I've been thinking about that too, and I think it would be huge. I think it's inevitable. Because they just have so much data. Like, they have so much data, and they can, yeah. I mean, and for advertisers, that would be enormous opportunity.
I mean, I think, like, if you could run on the content network like that,
Yeah.
I honestly think, like, Google has way overcomplicated AdSense. When you log in there now, it is like, where in the crap am I? Where it used to be so straightforward. You had your ad groups, you had your keywords, you had all this stuff. You know, you could do some cool ninja stuff, making, you know, ad groups and whatnot. But now it's like, geez, you got your, I mean, it's just like, just let me make some ads. And that's another account I have that got banned for a bunch of BS. And I swear, you would think with the contacts I have, reaching out to people and whatnot, it's just the landscape has changed so much in every advertising platform. I mean,
Yeah. Paid advertising is hard work now.
Microsoft, when they launched theirs, I absolutely crushed that. They were besties with me, and I did stuff that I totally would get banned in 2 minutes for now. But back then, they were like, "It's okay, we're testing." Okay.
Yeah. Give us your money.
Yeah,
They didn't care.
I'll test. They would actually give me ad spend. MySpace, when they launched theirs, they gave us like a $10,000 credit. Go to town, try to break it, try to get things approved that shouldn't be. Okay. You know, so I'm like trying to get Russian dating offers in there, and, you know, and I did get some through, you know, back in the day.
Yeah.
So it was just, you know, but it's so different now. It's so difficult for your average user, and I think that people, I mean, I wrote a thing called Affiliate Cash Tree, which didn't do as well as it should have. That thing is amazing, and it's been revolutionary for us, where it teaches you more how to, instead of sending people to an affiliate offer, you actually capture them, and you're building this database of users interested in, like, dating, right?
Smart.
Right,
Yeah.
and then you can monetize them many times over, you know?
Yeah, you could add fan pages to that too.
For sure. So, you know, I think that's the new play, is that people are becoming smarter about that. And we actually launched a new company called the PAR program, which actually does that on a more of an enterprise level platform, and also, and that's parprogram.com plug. So, but it's actually more for, we picked up some pretty high end clients, and that's kind of our target market for that, because it's not AWeber or, you know, these other things, and anybody who wants to compare it to that are not our clients. It's strictly just a complete ROI thing. So, all right. So Facebook external advertising,
Huge.
absolutely.
Huge. That'll be great. I can't wait.
I know, I can't wait either. And
Just the concept, just the idea that you could find, you could follow around 36-year-old women who like, yoga and organic food, who live in New York City. Like, you could follow them around the web and advertise your stuff on and off Facebook is just hugely popular. I mean, it just boggles the mind. It'd be great.
it will be really funny on how they get the word out that they need publishers, because they're going to need inventory, right, outside.
Yeah.
So
and they're scaring everybody off now. Like, people are running and pissed off and furious and.
Yeah, I mean, GM made that post about it was worthless, and that was like 3 days before the IPO. That was
good timing.
They're like the third largest advertiser in the world or something like that, something ridiculous like that. It was General Motors or something.
I've got some thoughts about that though. Like, we have our enterprise level service has a few clients who used to run their Facebook ads with an agency, and they also used to go direct with Facebook, and they didn't have good results at all. So they were smaller than GM, but they still didn't have very good results. And we've been able to turn that around dramatically and get them really good results, like in the first couple of weeks. And it just shows that if you don't know what you're doing, what they're doing is they're taking a billboard approach. They think it's like a billboard on the freeway, and they stick it up there, and then they wonder why it doesn't get a direct response. And it's like, you can't have mass advertising like that and expect direct response results. So, I think they got what they deserved.
Yeah, and I think, really, it's interesting you bring that up, because a lot of people will get an account manager at one of these companies, right, like Facebook or whatever, and they'll say, yeah, here's my $1 million a month budget, and, not really measure ROI or stuff like that. I know I did that. Like, I was using a company, I won't name them, they're one of the, advertising networks that accept some things that some others wouldn't, but they have a lot of inventory. So I started doing it, and I'm profitable, and I'm doing really well with it. And it was an affiliate offer. It was, I'm doing well with it. And the guy says to me, we've got dedicated account managers. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, they'll get you, because they see everything that's working. So they'll get you in on all these places. It's the inside track. You just got to make a commitment of 10 grand a day, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that sounds fantastic. Give them money. I lost like $3,000 a day on that. And then I had to go back to me doing it. And I'm just sitting there. And I think Facebook I think any place is the same thing. These expert account managers don't know nothing.
Right.
And,
they're external contractors. Like the last few people I've spoken to, they have no idea. And I'm talking to them, and they're going, yeah, what you're supposed to do is bid double the suggested amount. I'm like, really? I've been doing this for 5 years. I've never had any results with that. So, yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. My Facebook advertising video I made years ago was more about I just kind of showed our experience with ad copy, picture, description, what matters, and I don't know if you've ever even seen that.
Yeah, I have.
The video. And it was, I found some really interesting things about, the picture and the headline were really everything. And I even had some that had the description in Korean, and they still got pretty close. I mean, they still, pretty much dominated the other. So it's amazing, like what Facebook does and what, some of their other things. And I don't know, it's the whole Facebook advertising landscape. And I think you definitely have to find, like, our two guys are phenomenal. And it's funny because the one just called me and asked me to check out this one thing that he's got going on. So that's a good sign. Yeah. But yeah, so Facebook has been just so crazy in this new, like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if the whole dating thing is just, canceled or what's going on, but we have the tamest landing page that I've ever seen in my life, and the tamest ads, and I'd
be surprised. I mean, I would be surprised if they canceled it.
I don't know. I think there's some verticals that they just think from time to time, I think they might just say, all right, everybody.
Yeah.
No.
We're not going to do that now.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah. I saw that for a while in the diet vertical, I think. Yeah,
diet and fitness and MLM, network marketing. They couldn't, for ages, you couldn't do anything in MLM, and now it's a free-for-all. So...
somebody was telling me the other day about something that you were talking about with fan pages and advertising the fan page, but making it a squeeze page. Yeah. And getting some opt-ins through the social stuff. And I don't know why that escaped me, but this thing that we're doing now, maybe we should look into that. That would be interesting.
You should test 3 or 4 different things. I mean, we always recommend you want to test 3 to 4 different options. So you want to test the video option we talked about earlier. You want to test a landing page inside Facebook. Maybe 2 different landing pages inside Facebook would be good. And make sure, I mean, you know this, but make sure that on that landing page you have one call to action. It's a big mistake a whole lot of people do on Facebook for some reason. Like, all landing page rules go out the window for people who know what they're doing. And they've got, like this and watch this video and opt in here, and too many choices.
Right.
So just one.
So so that brings a new question. So do you build landers for people?
I don't build them. I have like 2 people that I refer people to, and that's it. And then it
for
depends
Facebook
on, like,
specific.
Yeah, Facebook specific landing pages, and that's it. So I don't build them. I don't have any technical skills.
Very interesting. But if you have some examples, you can kind of show people, and You can be, because like we have graphics coming out of our ass here and development resources, but I wouldn't know how to make a Facebook lander for that to save my life. You know, so
it's good. Look, well, I just get mine done for me too. Like it's not expensive, and the shit changes in Facebook all the time. So you don't want to spend a whole lot of money and make it perfect or anything, because by next week it'll probably change again, and you know.
Sure. And what does something like that cost if you need a Facebook lander?
Oh, I mean, well, anywhere between $100 to $250.
Holy cow, that's super cheap. And turnaround time's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I need that contact info because I'm gonna get those people going on that kind of stuff.
So just keep it really simple. One objective on that page. So, and have 2 or 3 different ones to test. And so if you've got a killer fan page and you set up a couple of ads advertising to that fan page, it's dirt cheap, and you can amplify your current stuff, your current content. And it's great. It's a cheap way to get opt-ins and get people focused on whatever it is that you're talking about at the moment.
Awesome. Oh, another thing I wanted to get to was the AppSumo. You've sold products on there, and actually, the first time believe it or not, the first time I ever really heard of them was because of you. And so I saw you had products on there, and I forget how, I think you said that in the Elite Retreat Mastermind list, that you're doing it, and so that led me to apps. I'd heard of them before, but I was like, And it's so funny because I recently made this product called the Local Internet Blueprint, and put it on Udemy, which I love that platform, and it sold. I think it's at about 817 copies right now, and they take 30%, but 15% if it's coupon codes or your affiliate link. So that's, I think 15% is incredible, and 30% is awesome too. But then AppSumo calls actually this morning.
Completely different story.
And they're like
90%, 95.
Actually, it was so they want 40%. Okay, so but I'm paying Udemy 30%. Of the 40%, and they're also going to use their affiliate link. So wait. So how does this work again? So I'm selling the product for $197. Okay, but you want me to sell it for $40, give 30% for you to Udemy, give 40% for you, and you get 50% of that end price or whatever the heck it is. So I'm getting like $7.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's a great deal. Jeremy, go for it.
I know, that's like, okay, wait, I can sell 25 or I can sell, 1 or 25. Yeah, so I emailed Sung Yu or whatever the hell his name is over there, and I thought that was funny too, because they introduced and they're like, we actually do have an Asian guy now. And I was like, I didn't even know that was the deal. But so I guess they got a lot of heat because it was the whole sumo thing and the whole thing, but they didn't have any Asians working there. So
that's weird.
Yeah, I guess to some people that matters. So I really, that's the last thing I would worry about would be like, well, do you have any Asians that work there?
That's really important to me.
Yeah, that's because, I just don't like to work with all Caucasians. So anyway, so Sung Yu or Ho, I talked to him, emailed him, and I said, could you just explain this price structure to me, because getting $7 is not real attractive versus $197, and then 15 to 30% off that. Anyway, for those out there, Udemy is, I can't speak highly enough about it, and it's like the high quality ClickBank. That's what I think of it as. Only they host all your stuff, like all your video stuff. And
that's cool. I put mine on learnable.com, which is similar, I think.
Ooh, I might have to check that out too. See, you're giving me all this. I didn't even know about I didn't know about AppSumo. I forget where I heard about Udemy. I know where I heard, because I'm on the angel list. And my friend Kevin Hendrickson, when you're on the angel list, it tells you when your friends invest in companies. And so we invested in that. And I've invested in quite a little, just little amounts here and there, but I love that. And so that's why I was like, well, I should check this out, if I'm throwing money
Sounds
in it.
Good.
Yeah, so, and I'm working with the people there at Udemy because I think they have a huge opportunity in the affiliate space, but not to turn into ClickBank.
Yeah.
So I think they want to keep high quality
It's good because there's so many people teaching really good stuff that don't know how or can't host their own stuff or whatever. So, and to reach a new audience, something like that is really good.
Absolutely. And if I could add to that, from somebody who does have the developers, the graphics and everything, and has done, I've had Shoemoney tools, Shoemoney system, and other things where we've, built out complete user management systems and all this stuff. I can tell you right now, geez, the 30% is very attractive to pay out and not have to worry about a password reset thing or customer support or chargeback or this, and or a site going down or, your CDN, whatever. Or, I mean, geez, just look at the platform. It's great. And I think, the more platforms. I just had another guy who was telling me about there's another one coming out that it's really built by a guy who I've known in the marketing space for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. And so I think his will be really sweet because he's actually got a model where on the back end, this is pretty sweet. Like you do the front end sale, so let's say I sell the local internet marketing blueprint. Well, I can go and select upsells, right? So let's say
cool.
Jimmy Bob has AdWords for local markets, right?
Yeah.
And I say, hey, I recommend Jimmy Bob's thing. Well, he doesn't care because it's a digital product. And he was saying, you could kind of sell it at any price because Jimmy Bob's not going to care. And it's all free money because it's a digital product. Yeah. So I think that it would be huge. And then also just revenue sharing on the backside. So if people opt into if they're mailing or selling the data or something like that, you could opt into something like that if that was your thing. Mm-hmm. And, just do a revenue share with the actual company for, there's been a couple products we had where we did that with companies and did, tens of thousands of dollars a month just, in data. So, you just do a revenue share. So if I think a platform like that would be super sexy to people with their own products who don't want to implement, more upsells, but these guys are pros at it. They've been doing upsell paths forever and they get it. So I look forward to some of that stuff coming out. And
it sounds cool.
I'm excited about it. So what was your experience like with AppSumo?
It was good. Well, I had a good experience. I mean, I started working with them a year ago or so, and it just started because they were just starting with their, training information. And so what they did was they called me up. We had an interview, similar to this. We had questions pre-prepared. I went through my stuff, and then they took it all away. They did all the work. So they edited it all, they produced it all, they sold it all, they did all the copywriting, everything. So I had basically nothing to do other than talk to them for an hour.
So wait, do they actually host the content then?
Yeah.
Oh, so are they I could put all my Udemy content on there?
Well, see, my situation was completely different from what you were doing. You already had something hosted somewhere else, and you already had a product created. In this case, I had my own product, but he had a list of Facebook ads questions he wanted to go through, and we made that into a product. So it was an AppSumo exclusive.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's completely different.
I wonder what they're at. See, maybe I misunderstood that. I didn't know they had an actual platform that they can do it themselves, because maybe what he's asking is they can take all the exact content that I have, flip it over there, and
I would think that's probably what they meant.
And 40% there. Because that's way more attractive than 40%, 30%, 50%,
blah,
blah,
to divide
blah.
it with Udemy as well. No. I would suggest that you would go and they would host it, they would sell it, they would do everything, and then they just send you a check at the end of the month.
Like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
So we ended up doing that initial one and then a follow-up, and I got the videos from all of it and got to share those with all my members too, and I got a ton of new business, a lot of new exposure and all that sort of stuff from it, and working with them was really easy. So we're actually in the middle of working on a new project, so that's going to be kind of cool too.
Wow, that's great. For those out there listening, if you want to sell something on Udemy, I have an absolute pro tip that I discovered and probably won't last very long, so listen up. So I did the internet marketing blueprint. And I started looking at their thing, and I wondered if I could manipulate. That's a bad word. I wondered if I could boost my thing to the front page of the top paying apps, right on the first page of Udemy. So what I did was I said to John Chow, I said, hey, why don't I give you a coupon code that would allow your users to get it for $9. Okay. And then I reached out to Andy Jenkins and a couple other folks and I said, hey, hook it up because I've been helping you. So make it happen. So they did. And I limited it to like 150 coupon codes per one of these guys, right? So very, very small. Well, they did it. They mailed it. It was on the front page for 3 weeks. So 450 of those sales were at $9 and the rest were at a higher price point. So they weren't, I mean, there's been very few at the full 197, but I think probably less than 30 or 40. But, you know, the ones at the lower price point boosted it up to the front. Now it's got 817 people who bought it. Great reviews because everyone got it for super cheap, right? So they totally were like, oh my God, deal of a lifetime. You know, this is amazing, but it never shows how much anyone ever paid for it.
That's good.
So I was like, man, what you could do is you could completely blow this up and you could post it for like $1 and you could pay, you know, go on one of these sites and say, you know, hey, yeah, exactly. And say, you know, buy this, you know, I'll give you a quarter, you know, every time you buy this for $1 and I'll pay you $1.25 or something like that. And really blow it out and get 1,000, you know, on there and just completely blow it up. So anyway, that's my pro tip for Udemy is sell it for super cheap, get it to the front page, jack up the price. And here's another tip, right? So people so you give the coupon code, right? To give it, I don't care if you sell it for $1, all right? Whatever you're making, if you're charging $300 for it, sell it for $1 and ramp that sucker up because you can continue to sell it for $1, but so that way it stays at the front of the top paid apps, but people just surfing the thing can't see what people are paying. So boom, there it is. Super hot tip.
Cool.
It's probably going to get burnt out because everyone's going to do it.
Now they're going to change the ability to change your price. You have to agree to the front.
You know, do they care though? Because they're still making money.
Well, they just make a lesser percentage, I suppose, but it's still some. Right?
And this is why they need someone like me or you or whoever as an advisor. They actually, you know, talk to me about, you know, whatever options, la 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 la. I don't do consulting for stock options. I've learned that in the past that's complete waste. So it's like, here's this virtual currency that may be worth something someday. No thanks. I'd rather just get paid monthly to consult for you. Because especially
you go to the bank, right, and try to pay your mortgage with that.
Yeah. Here's my options. They'll be worth something someday. Thank you. Can I have this house? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's a Twitter advertising platform that wouldn't take a rocket scientist to guess which one, but we have enough stock options to basically own about 7% of it. So they actually had an offer for an acquisition for around, well, a lot, over 8 figures. So not huge 8 figures, but anyway, and they turned it down because their investors had already got and too much in, you know, that they have to hit it out of the park. So I was like, son of a, you know. So anyway, I hate VC stuff, but what the crap were we talking about before that? The advertising
you were talking
stock
about
options. Udemy, yeah. Okay. So this is why I think we really undervalue what we bring to a company like that. Because we could come on board to that company. And right now Udemy is about to enter a world of pain because the internet marketers are seeing it, like especially since I did it. So they're now seeing it as a way around and make I've seen a couple things go on there now that are completely FTC uncompliant, right? They're making income claims. They're doing all this stuff and you can't do that. You're going to get nailed. Well, ClickBank's banned them. Everyone's banned them. But guess what? Udemy's good to go and they're going to merchant it for you, right?
And so is Udemy then liable for it because it's on their platform?
Yes, because they are liable. And so I've said something to them before. I'm like, you just might want to watch out here because you've got, you know, and they're like, oh, we approve everything. Okay. Well, when you approve everything, you're holding the bag, right? Because you're saying, yes, this meets our standards. So, I mean, you can have all the things you want, like, right? So you can have all the disclaimers you want when you're Udemy, but who do you think the FTC is going to go after? They're going to go after Billy Bob in Costa Rica, who's, you know, selling his product, or they're going to go after Udemy? You know, they're going to, Okay, so another thing that they're doing wrong is, I mean, okay, so my Shoemoney thing, it's blowing up, it's selling well. There's people advertising it on Facebook using like my AdSense check, which I'm not that upset about because it is going to my product. I'm not upset about it, right? But there's also like, but there's been so many people like that, you know, we've gone after before. So everyone emails me as soon as they see the AdSense check, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So there's people doing that, which is not a big deal. But the thing that does piss me off is people that are spamming the crap out of Twitter. I mean, just got like 800 accounts, just bzz, bzz. And I told the Udemy guys, I'm like, disable this affiliate, like, please. And this was like Thursday, and it's still going on. It went on all weekend, and everyone complains to me about it. And I'm like,
right.
Hey, not me. So anyway, I think that they're in for a world of pain. But so like they want to bring in somebody like us, right, who's got the chops for it, been in this industry, and we single-handedly can make their company for, I mean, literally, you know, they've got it built out, but everyone can build a cool service or site. The difference,
when you know how to market it and you know how to set it up right to attract real affiliates,
right,
it makes a big difference, right?
And so some people wonder why like Frank Kern and these other guys can get like $100,000 a month or whatever they get, you know, to actually go into some companies and, you know, consult. And the reason is because they can make a company go from breaking even to you know, $10 million a year company just because they go in and they, you know, you look at what we do with our margins and you take that's why we started doing the PAR program, was because one, I wanted to start building a business that was long term and not fly by night affiliate stuff. But the other thing was, I mean, you take what we do in the affiliate space and what we know and the margins, whether it's third or fourth tier through some affiliate network, and you all of a sudden can work directly with a company, especially, you know, Fortune 1000 company. I mean, and you're moving the needle through them, you know, and they're like, holy cow, you just moved us so far ahead, you know, and anyway. So I think affiliates out there, if you know what you're doing, don't undervalue yourself when some company comes knocking on the door and wants to give you stock options. So it's just monopoly money. Maybe you can sell them on the Diablo 3 auction house. I don't know if you heard that part, but
I did.
So, are you a Diablo player?
No.
Okay, well, that's all right. I won't hold that against you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. So, all right, I think we're pretty much, how are we doing, Matt? We got 5 minutes left. So, Jennifer, give us your parting words of wisdom for people.
Cool. So, you want some tips of what's working right now?
Yes, ma'am.
We talked a little bit about page post ads. If you don't have a fan page, you should get a fan page fast. A lot of people I spoke to on the weekend have groups and personal profiles. It's not good enough. You need a business fan page. You can set it up as your business, your product, a generic topic. You know, people like yoga. Set it up. Don't put any links to your business on a generic page, but then you can advertise to those people. It's good for affiliate marketing. And then once you have your fan page, you can make video posts on your fan page and then turn that into an ad. That is absolutely rocking it right now. So then once you have that ad on the right-hand sidebar, it shows up as a video in the sidebar. And people can click like, they can click the page, they can click the link, and they can click the video. It's like 4 options for them to click it. It's really, really good. So page post ads, video ads, and the bidding has changed. Those are the big things I wanted to tell you. So CPM, CPC, it's all changed in the last 10 days. So log into your account and
is it strictly CPC now, or has
that?
No,
it's CPC if you want to go off Facebook, CPM if you want to stay on Facebook. So there's no more CPM options for off Facebook, which sucks for affiliates.
Interesting. That's really interesting, because we used to always do CPC and then flip it once we had it drilled down. So I'm sure, like, I haven't personally been involved in much with the Facebook stuff since we got our team. You know, and I've done some local things for some local people, but you know, that amounted to like $20 a month. But for the most part, yeah. So awesome advice. Thank you so much for coming on.
No worries. Nice chatting with you.
I will email you in about 10 minutes.
Cool.
what we're looking at doing and some other stuff. So
sounds good, and I'll go check out this Diablo Gold stuff.
There you go, because I'm telling you that it is a crazy thing, and I wonder like what kind of regulations they're going to be scrutinized for and some other things, because it's really, really interesting what they're doing.
Sounds like it. Cool.
Okay, thanks, Jennifer.
Right. Have a great day.
All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So Jennifer Xen, queen of Facebook advertising. So I dubbed it and have. Do you have to knight somebody who's a queen?
Can you queen somebody?
Well, That's an adult term, I believe.
Well, there's no female equivalent to Sir like Elton John, is there?
There's not. You can't. There's only sirs. You can't like. There's no like.
No.
Yeah. What am I?
A bunch of sexist.
That's on my list to do because I've got my PhD now, right? I've got my honorary doctorate from the University of Kazakhstan, right? All other doctorates are inferior. So you may address me as doctor if you want to. It's not a requirement. The other thing on my to-do list before I die is to be knighted. That one's going to be a little bit more difficult. But maybe there's other countries that do that.
They knighted Sir Ellen McLean or whatever his name is. He's just an actor, so you could probably beat him.
Is that by the Queen of England?
I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's going to be a tough one to pull off. Now, if I can go over and there's like, if Kazakhstan wants to, if they've got some sort of royalty, that I can speak there or something for free and do something and be knighted, they'll probably chop my head off, though, just for bragging rights. Not because I'm good looking, just be like, yeah, Shoemoney, we got his head on a pike back there. So, and then people would pose with my head and stuff. I don't know. I think Diablo has been warping my mind. So, all right, everybody. So that's this edition of the Shoemoney Show. I'll see you next week, and you jerks better show up because I don't want this iPad. I want to give it to you. I'm out.